pattern 1853 Enfield rifle musket. It weighs about 10 pounds and it's 55 inches in length. You will see a bayonet affixed to it. I put the bayonet on there so you can see what one looks like. If I kept it in the scabbard, somebody's going to ask me, is that a knife or a sword? The bayonet adds 2 pounds and puts us over 6 feet. Since this is a rifled musket demonstration, I will remove the bayonet. The only thing you need to know about bayonets is you stick them with a pointy end. That's how it works. All right, I've said a couple times so far, rifle musket. Who here does not know what rifling is inside a firearm? Raise your hand because I will point somebody out. Young lady, do you know what rifling is inside a firearm? No, I'm asking you. How come you didn't raise your hand? All right, what it is, it's lands and grooves cut into a barrel to help a projectile go a little bit straighter or a little bit further if you did not have rifling. Up until 1860, the United States Army used smooth bores. What does a smooth bore musket shoot? Right here, this is a round 69 caliber ball. This is one of them that it would shoot. So, in a smooth bore, if I load this up, I stood at that wall, shoot at that wall, will it reach the wall? Yes, it'll go a lot further. But, if we went William Tell on you to put an apple on top of your head, and I tried to hit the apple, will I hit it? I'm not even going to come close to you. Very, very inaccurate past 240 feet. You're lucky you're going to hit anything. That's why they made armies of 100-man companies, front rank and rear rank. So if I shoot 100 of these at you, I got a better chance of hitting you. All right, 1847, they came up with a new type of projectile. It would be called the mini ball. I used to see how large this is. This is almost 3/4 of an inch. So if I say mini ball, put your finger together and show me how big you think mini ball is going to be. How big do we think one's going to be? All right, I'm going to show you. It takes me a second to find it. All right, this is a mini ball. I get some laughing there because the first thing you're thinking is, it's not mini. It's not even a ball. It looks like a modern projectile. That's by design. It's concave on the bottom. So when it explodes in the chamber, it throws that skirt out, grips the rifling, and downrange it goes. So now I can hit targets from 2 to 500 yards. At 1/2 mile, I can penetrate 3 inches of wood with this mini ball. So the next question is going through your brain is, well, why do they call it a mini ball if it's not mini? Does anybody know?
There's bigger ones.
All right, you're thinking too hard. Simply, the inventor was a French captain named Claude Minier. We're Americans. We can't read it. We can't speak it. We see packages that says M-I-N-I-E on it. We're thinking mini, not Minier. It's kept in a cartridge box. To repel it, you use black powder. Black powder is made of charcoal, sulfur, potassium nitrate mixed together into a paste, rolled out, dried out, crumbled little pieces, becomes flammable. Prior to 1842, you had a piece of flint on a hammer that sparked on a piece of steel called a frizzen that went into a pan filled with powder that ignited, went through a vent into the main charge, and off it went. After that, they made it much more easier for the soldier. They used what they call a musket cap. This is a musket cap right here. It could be brass or copper. It could be. It's 4-winged. It's filled with a combination of fulminate mercury. When placed on a cone on the rear of the rifle musket, when you pull the trigger, the hammer hits it. Look you up. It sends the fire directly into it at that time. All right. Now, I'm 185 years old. All right? I've watched every possible movie and TV show to load one of these. From Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, that was Fess Parker. The first Alamo with John Wayne, Chill Wills, Ken Curtis, Richard Widmark, Richard Boone. The Patriot, Mel Gibson, Heath Ledger. And you know I'm going to produce a powder horn. And I'm going to pour this down the front, and I'm going to pour it down here, and I'm going to ram it all down. Correct? No! I want you to think about this. I got a powder horn. I'm getting shot at, and I'm trying to put the same amount each at a time. It doesn't work. So for the United States Army, they made it much more simple. They put everything into one paper cartridge. Inside here is 1 medium A ball and 65 grains of black powder. So I got to take this whole thing and shove it down the muzzle. This is a muzzle loader. So how did I do it? Does anybody know? Simply, I followed the instructions. There's a manual. There's a series of steps and procedures to load said rifle and musket. Does anybody know how many individual steps it's going to take me? Any guesses?
9.
5 here. All right, I know I might have heard it over here. It takes 9. 9 steps to do it. All right, that is kept in my cartridge box right here with 39 other rounds. All right, this is my first position. This is where I start. Right here. I can't do anything without command. Now I want you to think about this. Across the field from me is another army that wants to shoot me. I have to stand here and I cannot move. In the American Civil War, who was I fighting? Americans, exactly. That means we speak a common language. We read the same books. Our officers went to the same academies. So if I hear a voice, a drum, or a bugle, not only do I know when they're loaded, I know when they're going to shoot me. I have to stand here and shoulder arms, waiting for the command of load! And 9 times load! Rifle muzzle smartly in front of me, stock next to my left foot, muzzle 3 to 4 inches from my chin. I take my right hand, I open my cartridge box, and I stop and wait for another command. I cannot move no matter what. Folks, you see the muzzle? That's very important. If I was lazy and I'd blow like this, what's going to happen? I'm not going to have a good day, am I? No. Or if I'm scared to death of it, what about the poor guy in front of me? He's not going to have a good day. If I keep it where it's supposed to be and it goes off, boom, I will be okay. Now I'll probably soil myself, but I'll be good. All right, muzzles correct, stocks correct, cartridge box over, wait for the next command of handle, cartridge. The cartridge comes up to this position and I stop and wait for another command. All right, folks, for me to go to the next command, I must have in possession 3 very important items. Does anybody know what 3 items I require? Any guesses? Boy, no guesses.
A ramrod?
Yep. We got some good ones, but we're thinking too hard. What I would like everybody to do, give me a big teethy smile like this. What are you showing me? Teeth! You're going to have 3 teeth in your head. Can't be one here, one here, one here. Will not work. It must be 2 opposing another one. 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top. If you do not have that configuration, you cannot be in the infantry. You must be in the invalid corps, dragon bodies, and digging ditches. Folks, my hands are full. So the next command is simply going to be tear cartridge. You put that between your teeth. What? Oh, that might help. So I reached over the top, exposed the black powder, in the muzzle of my rifle musket, and I stop and wait for another command. Folks, what's going on? I got shot at, right? This mini ball's flying all over the place. I can't move. I'm lucky they can't move. Here comes a cannonball! You can see him flying in them days. Here it comes! Here it comes! Whoosh! It goes by my head. They miss me. I can continue the loading procedure. However, Billy, well, Bill's gone. We don't really worry about him too much. All right, waiting for the next command of charge cartridge. I now pour in the black powder to the muzzle of my rifle musket and dislodge that mini ball like I showed you before. Not the same exact one. This is an Enfield rifle. It shoots a .577 caliber. All right, you know there's caution. There's always a word of caution. So when I fire this, I will fire it in that direction near the stripe of the wall right there. I'm pretty good at hitting that. Pretty good. Once it hits the stripe of the wall, it's going to ricochet over to that stripe of the wall over there. I'm even better at that. All right, once it hits there, it'll ricochet one more time. It's going to come scalding right back there. Insurance? All right. So, some of you are a little nervous here. You think I'm going to shoot a real one?
No.
Of course I am. It's a program. But mine's not a Minet ball. Mine is a marquee ball. Mine is made of toilet paper. Some of you are like, ew! Come on, folks. I got to make sure it's fresh. Because when I fire it, not only do I want it to wipe you out, I wanted to clean you out too. All right. I got one mini ball here, black powder down there. I got the mini ball on top of the black powder, ready for the next command up. Charles Rammer. Rammer comes up. Tulip goes on top of a mini ball. I stop and wait for another command. Next command is ram cartridge. I push that all the way down. I seat it on top of the black powder. Once it's seated, I can shoot it right now, can't I? Why not? Who cares? I care, because if I shoot, there goes the ramrod, there goes the mini ball. Can I load again?
No.
No. So I better be listening for the next command of return rammer. Pipe goes on the slot, pinky finger. Bring it home. Why am I using a pinky finger? Suppose you maul my hand, right? Boom! Hey! It's gonna sting just a little bit. But that's not the worst of it. And you're like, how can I not be the worst of it? Your hand's gone. No. You know what's worse than that? I have to come back to my company of my friends. Might not be your friends, but these are my friends. When I walk back there, what do you think the first thing they're going to do is? They're going to laugh at me. They're going to chastise me for not using the manual. Then I'm going to be called Lefty for the rest of my life. No, if I use this, no big deal. I can miss it. As long as I got these three, we can continue. All right, ramrod's back in. Mini balls on top of black powder. Go to the next command. Good! The rifle musket, highly elevated. I don't want you to get poor guy in front of me. You're not the enemy. I'm going to turn from you. I'm going to go to half cock. Once I'm at half cock, I'm going to retrieve one musket cap. I'm going to place it on the cone. Now I've gone through 8 of my 9 steps. So what do we think number 9 is? The 9th position, loaded 9 times, is shoulder arms. Right back to where I started. And you're like, what? You didn't get to shoot? I followed the instructions. And how many bullets do I got in this gun? 1. I got to do it all over again. However, if I am a well-trained soldier, and I've done this, I could go J times. In my cat, that gives me that wonderful and glorious command of load and fire at will. I'm looking at Will. Any wills? Never, ever find a will. No. If I give that command, I can load, aim, and fire 3 times in 1 minute every 20 seconds. All right, folks. Now we're going to make some noise. The next 3 commands you're going to hear is ready, aim, and fire. Folks, I'm shooting a rifle musket inside a fort. It will be loud! So, if you've got sensitive ears, small children, hearing aids, plug them, help them, turn them down. There we go. Ready? Ellie! Fire! Imagine my cannons! Next Wednesday is cannon evening gun at 4 o'clock. July 4th, I'll be shooting all day. The last shot of July 4th will be red, white, and blue. All right? But other than that, on behalf of Fort Macon and myself, I want to thank you all for coming by today. Thank you very much.